Welcome back to the coolest channel on YouTube. Look, man, go ahead, smash that like button, man. Don't skip anything in this video right here because it's going to tell you an overall story on what's been going on in this world. But look, man, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, consider subscribing because 60% of the people that watch this channel aren't even subscribed. We're growing by the daily. Someday we'll be at 1 million subscribers. We're at 900,000 subscribers, y'all. I do appreciate y'all, man. Hey, all this hard work that I'm putting in is definitely paying off, man. But I do appreciate y'all. Just know if you're going through a tough time, you're not in this thing by yourself. We're in this thing called life together. Positive vibes only. Let's get into this video. And most importantly, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Let's just have a good time. Let's vibe out. Let me know what you think about the video, man. And let's get to it. And also, I'm not in charge of what you believe. You're an adult. Don't play with me.
Nope. Ain't no games being played over here. Get out of my house. Yeah, you. You can't hide. Get out of my house. You're not scared? Did you just punch me? But I'm scared. You see?
Oh, this ass.
Oh my God, it breaks. He punches.
Yeah. All 2025, we walking down on everything. No fear over here. Let's get it, y'all.
Radio command link. Accurate. Actually, it's a link along that tether line you see there, 25 feet of umbilical cord. That contains the life support system and communications link from the spacecraft life support system out through that chest pack.
I guess they never thought we'd make it to like 2025. Like, this is obviously, come on, y'all. We could have produced this in my office right now. They had to think we was getting hit by an asteroid or something, like, or something. I don't know.
Did you know Squid Game's actually based on true events from the 80s? It's all based around the 1986 Brothers House incident in Korea, where an orphanage was essentially turned into the Squid Game. Founded in 1960, the Brothers House orphanage ran normally until 1986. A billionaire adopted all the kids and then bought the orphanage and locked them all in it, hiring workers that hid their face like this and forced these children in blue jumpsuits to play kids games. And if you're wondering, you didn't want to lose. The creator of Squid Game claims that it was not based on anything, but this is in the TV show where the guards sleep, and this is at the Brothers House where they kept the children. Also, these were the Squid Game guards, and these were the guards in the real life. Now, you can look this up for yourself. This is actually one of the worst human rights violations in history. But weirdly, around 2020, it was kind of scrubbed from the internet, with many people theorizing Netflix did this in order for the Squid Games to be posted as normal. This is until some survivors of the Brothers House started speaking up this year. They started realizing how awfully similar the Squid Games looks and plays just like the Brother House. Squid Games denies there's any influence or ties to this, but I want to know what your thoughts are because I think there is.
It looked to me as I traveled when I was out with you in California, what it reminded me of more of a war scene where you had certain targets that were bombarded, where artillery was just blew them up. No, with other words, you'd have this fire going crazy and burning everything down and 3 houses being fine. Nothing's happening. Or neighborhoods that were still green. Still green. And next to a place that, for example, you know, we're just looking at a Secret Service house that was out there. You know, all the vehicles are melted. Yet the house next door still has green shrubbery on it. And, you know, the house is fine. There's only, I think, 4 or 5 houses in that 200, you know, it's in the Pasadena area. But the generic point is, it's almost like it's a battle scene.
But you know, Mr. President, we saw that in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida with hurricanes.
Yeah.
This is also the nature of, to your point, this changing climate, these extreme weather conditions.
You see how she tried to come in and save that? Nothing. We're just riding a four-wheeler, lighting up the forest.
These were arrests on a massive scale. Amongst those taken into custody by the FBI were city mayors, politicians and religious leaders. The authorities needed buses to cope with the sheer scale of the operation.
New Jersey's corruption problem is one of the worst, if not the worst, in the nation. Corruption is not only pervasive, it has become ingrained in New Jersey's political culture.
It's thought that religious charities controlled by prominent rabbis were used to launder cash. The arrests were part of a 10-year operation that uncovered money laundering on an international scale, as well as corruption and the sale of human organs in the US, Switzerland and Israel.
The list of people we arrested sounds like it should be the roster for a meeting of community leaders. But sadly, they weren't meeting in a boardroom this morning. They were in the FBI booking room.
Prosecutors say one rabbi was dealing in human kidneys for transplant for a decade, buying them from vulnerable people at a huge profit. The scale of the corruption across New Jersey has outraged residents.
It just goes back to the belief that Hudson County is incredibly corrupt. And I thought we were making headway and becoming less corrupt.
The number of arrests was remarkable even for New Jersey, where more than 130 public officials have pleaded guilty or been convicted of corruption in the last 10 years.
Do you ever wonder in media if you're ever being constantly deceived? Like sometimes they will run a play with you and you will think that it's original, but really it's not original. It's kind of the same old stuff. This is kind of what is going on. This is what happened during the pandemic. At some point, I'm sure there'll be another pandemic. There'll be some other national emergency. Corporate media is constantly playing a game with you. And this game is one that if you are not able to break out of the matrix and have independent thought, you're going to fall for the game every damn time.
The real NASA is doing in our oceans. First of all, the NASA you know of doesn't exist. It's a lie. The real NASA is actually the National Anunnaki Subversion Agency. Let that sink in, because we about to go deep. NASA have found Anunnaki artifacts and technology on Earth, and most of it is in the sea. NASA, under the guise of space exploration, is actually involved in uncovering and suppressing evidence of ancient astronaut contact between the Anunnaki and early human civilizations. Do you not think that it's weird that we supposedly know more about the surface of Mars and the Moon than our own oceans? Don't you think it's strange that only 5% of the sea has been explored, but they sent probes out to space? That's because it's all kept. They know exactly what's down there, and they don't want us sniffing around and realizing our true potential as humans. Let me make this clear. NASA never stopped exploring the oceans. The sudden halt in deep sea missions was a strategic move to prevent these discoveries from becoming public. Y'all need to know that what they have discovered in our oceans is so monumental that it would shake humanity to its core. Owen, who do you think runs and finances this organization?
What if I told you the ocean was the real outer space? A couple years ago, an independent researcher named Tyler Schmerkenhieser designed and engineered a one-of-one submarine with an adaptive hyperalloy composite hull to prove it. Guy was obsessed, believed the concept of the ocean floor itself was a lie. Stuck a camera on the front of the submarine and set off into the unexplored depths of the Mariana Trench. And Buddy, the species he captured on these videos, were things that have yet to be explained to this day. But instead of finding the seafloor, he discovered what he described as an abyssal vortex, a swirling black whirlpool that no previous expedition had ever encountered. Said that by the time he'd gotten through it, he rose up to lands that he'd never seen before in his life. Saw these strange human-like beings standing up on the shore. It was like this upside-down world, accessible through vortex canals in the depths of the water.
It says a traveler from distant stars escaped from a dying world looking for a way to extend his own life. His body decaying and weak, he couldn't prevent his own demise. Apparently his whole species was becoming extinct. So he traveled or searched the galaxies looking for a way to cheat death. And look here, he came to a world rich with life where he encountered a primitive race, humans. A species which, with all his powers and knowledge, he could maintain indefinitely. He realized within a human body he had a chance for a new life. Now, he apparently found a young boy. It says, as the frightened villagers ran, night became day. Curious and without fear, he walked towards the light. Ra took him and possessed his body like some kind of a parasite looking for a host. And inhabiting this human form, he appointed himself ruler. He used the Stargate to bring thousands of people here to this planet as workers for the mines. Just like the one we saw. This mineral is clearly the building block of all his technology. With this, he can sustain eternal life. Now, something happened where...
Did you know that Universal Studios was using a globe since 1927, and human beings had not even seen Earth from space until 1959? Which is why these astronauts are actors, and they actually have celebrity stars in Hollywood. You can look them up on IMDb, which is a website for actors. I mean, let's type in Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, let's see. He is an actor. These people are actors. Granted, this is my opinion based on research. These astronauts are all part of a group. They're all members of a club that you are not in and I am not in. I believe you either get initiated into these clubs or you are in them because you are part of the bloodline. Now, I believe in order to understand what's going on, you have to really understand myth. Retake a look at Greek myth and Egyptian myth, Chinese myth, all of the myth, which is what I do. You can find me with thesun33.com. I love you all, and this is my opinion.
Several other wire fells that I've seen from NASA Cinema. Maybe you remember this one from NASA Cinema, where you can see the wires unnaturally lifting the back of the astronaut's shirt, just like Buster Keaton.
And a second wire bulges at his bum when he flies. But
yeah, I'm sure that's just perfectly normal space bum bulging that just seems to match wires and harnesses. How about this one, where the astronaut on the right in the USMC shirt actually grabs the other astronaut's wire. When he grabs this invisible object, it pulls the astronaut's shirt in a very strange way.
Now, we've seen some of these before, but this is perfect for the new people that's coming to the channel and they haven't seen stuff like this. So if you've seen this, brace yourself. Yeah, we building. Like, just watch the video, sit back and relax.
That really looks like Buster Keaton, doesn't it? I also love this one, where the astronaut is hanging upside down, and the other astronaut on the right side pushes a button or something on the wall, which causes one of the wires attached to the shirt of the astronaut on the left to release. I guess he got tingled up when they were playing acrobats.
Look at his face. He knew it.
PBS actually removed this clip off of their website, and so I couldn't share the original where you can hear the mechanism, but I'm sure that's perfectly coincidental. The astronaut behind him even reaches up at the same spot to seemingly detach the shirt from the wire. Of course, you can't forget this one where it looks like the astronaut flying in the back is wearing some sort of harness. I guess that's just an everyday astronaut harness that they like to attach to their butts for some made-up science reason. This astronaut seems to twist funny like the wire is malfunctioning, and then she starts to fall before NASA cuts away. Buster Keaton comes to mind when watching that strange twisting. This is a great one where you can actually see the reflection of the wire. The reflection of the wire matches perfectly with the astronaut's movement, and it matches the bulge on his shirt. That's a classic Buster Keaton fail. This one is also hilarious as the actor from NASA accidentally gets the microphone wire tangled with her harness wire.
I haven't seen this one.
Notice how the microphone wire is caught on something invisible, and then she has to use her other arm in a strange way to detach the microphone wire from the invisible object.
Boy, they know they be going on here messing up. This shit be crazy, don't it?
Object behind her. Is there any other evidence that NASA uses wires?
She was like, oh shit, I know it's gonna go viral.
To fake space? How about this clip from an old video of mine? This company, called ZFX, which specializes in wires, stages, green screens, and performance flying. It actually looks like a pretty fun job. But you should go and check out their client list, and look who's there.
It was NASA if you couldn't see. We building, let's go.
There are no aliens. There's just the civilizations that live beyond the ice wall.
What the hell are you talking about?
See, they want you to believe that there's these alien civilizations out in the depths of outer space that may or may not be coming to get you, but it's just a facade. The reality is that there are simply civilizations beyond what we can observe, beyond the ice wall, right here on planet Earth, but just in regions we have been kept from seeing, kept from knowing about. These civilizations beyond the ice wall, as you could imagine, have technology far beyond what we can fathom, and so when they fly above us in their inconceivably advanced ships, we kind of misconstrue it with the idea of quote-unquote aliens from space, when in reality it's just advanced civilizations from Earth. But of course, the oligarchs want you to be scared and have this fear of the great unknown, and so they peddle this narrative about outer space and alien encounter theories. The whole time, all of these other advanced beings are right here on Earth.
This incredible melanin pigment, right, is so unbelievable, George. They use it in computer chips now because it has an ability to transduce electrical energy. Can you imagine this? It has this incredible ability to hold on to and transduce and manipulate electrons, electronic energy, and photons, photonic energy. It's a fascinating molecule.
In his words, not my words, his words, he wanted to conduct the largest attack in the U.S. since 9/11. So what I would say to the American people is that when you think these things are happening half a world away, it's like that little inscription on your mirror in your car. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Chinese government's pre-positioning on American civilian critical infrastructure to lie in wait on those networks, to be in a position to wreak havoc, things like water treatment plants. We're talking about transportation systems. We're talking about targeting of our energy sector, the electric grid, natural gas pipelines. And recently, we've seen targeting of our telecommunications system.
So there you have it, you guys. That was FBI Director Wray, and like I said, this just coming out in...
As we were getting our gear on and making our way to the stairway, there was a heavy-duty explosion.
The whole building just collapsed.
Pay attention to their words, y'all. Understand that, you know, remember, see, they always bet for us to like forget and not remember our history of what happened. We've, as a community, we've come. We soak up information differently. Everything is like, you know, people love short format like TikTok and stuff like that. Minds are very simple and not taking in the complete picture anymore. And I think that's by design. That's why I like to put these all together and do a long format video. But it keeps you fresh. And clips like this make you remember that everything isn't what it seems. And then as we advance in technology, we can understand from back then, this shit ain't make sense. In the midst of the events happening, everybody's emotions and everything was just everywhere. We had people that were living in New York. I remember I was in elementary school and when this stuff happened. Well, middle school or elementary, whatever. I won't tell y'all, whatever. But one of those. But it's just like people forget that this shit was weird from the get-go. Just watch though. And understand that they don't always tell you the truth. Sometimes a little bit, if it ain't that bad, if they ain't trying to really. Let me shut up. I'm gonna keep going before they be at my front door. But watch this.
Inside the lobby.
Was that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was.
That was the planet probably?
Yeah, definitely secondary explosion.
I heard a second explosion and another rumble.
An hour later than that, we had that big explosion from much, much lower.
It just went ba-boom. It was like a bomb went off. And another explosion came right from it, just everyone flying.
There were numerous secondary explosions taking place in that building. There were continuous explosions.
No, the first explosion, then there was a second explosion in the same building. There were two explosions.
Okay. Federal agencies that were down there do believe that there was some sort of explosive device somewhere else besides the planes hitting.
There was another explosion that took place in one of the towers here. So obviously, according to his theory, he thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
There was a secondary explosion, probably a device either planted before or on the aircraft that did not explode until an hour later.
Then there was those secondary explosions and then the subsequent collapses.
That the FBI most likely thinks that there was a car or truck packed with explosives underneath the buildings, which also exploded at the same time and brought both of them down.
Now that's the first time we're hearing that. So 2 planes and explosives that were in the building, is that correct?
That is the working theory at this point. That is
A huge explosion now waiting to bring on all of us. It sounded like gunfire. You know, bang, 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 bang. And then all of a sudden, 3 big explosions.
About 50 consecutive bangs, and it fell down like a waterfall.
And we heard the noise associated with an implosion.
We heard a very loud blast, an explosion. We looked up, and the building literally began to collapse before us.
We heard a loud explosion, and at that point, Building 2 was collapsing.
At that point, we heard a large boom. I looked up and just saw the building coming at us.
Do you know if it was an explosion or if it was a building collapse?
To me, it sounded like an explosion.
There was another major explosion. The building itself, literally the top of it came down.
All of a sudden you hear explosion and you could see the building starting to collapse.
Huge explosion that we all heard and felt.
We understand now there has been a secondary explosion on Tower 2.
According to the Associated Press, another building that has either been attacked or exploded.
The tower, rather, that has collapsed, and we are told collapsed because of a third explosion.
And about an hour later after that, there was a huge explosion at the base of the South Tower. That's the One World Trade Center, and part of the building collapsed.
We could hear a rumble, which was about 5 seconds long, preceding the actual collapse, and then a boom when each of those towers collapsed.
Just seconds ago, there was a huge explosion, and it appears right now the Second World Trade Tower has just collapsed.
I was about 5 blocks away when I heard explosions.
And then you heard from far away, boom, boom. And you heard the boom, 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 boom.
Floor by floor instead of popping out.
It was if they had detonated.
Detonated.
They were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
From the corner, boom, 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 boom. Just like 20 straight hits. And as the bombs were going, people just started running. And I sat there and watched a few of them explode. And it just started going pop. It just started going boom, 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 boom. And he goes, how fast? I go like firecracker.
Are they fighting?
to China. At least 17 U.S. military bases near Chinese-owned farmland reportedly seeing a surge in drone activity and sightings in recent weeks. The sightings happening near bases in Hawaii and installations in Utah, California, Maine, and Florida. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael
I got some videos of portals opening in the sky all over the world, Booskies.
New Jersey residents are now reporting birds flying in highly unusual patterns, migrating by the thousands out of New Jersey just over the last couple of days. I don't normally inject my opinions, but when I do, I need my hat. First off, birds are highly in tune with magnetic fields. It's how they migrate in the first place. So when something unusual happens to the magnetic field, it can cause them to behave in the way you see here. Now, we've seen this happen before, recently on cruise ships in the Gulf of Mexico, only a few days before the last hurricane made landfall. A hurricane, I might add, that went completely against natural weather patterns. Coincidentally, researchers pointed out strange lasers beaming in the area from these towers, which some critics claim was there to direct the storm's path. If you believe in that sort of thing, not saying I do. What does this have to do with New York and New Jersey? Well, coincidentally, in this area, we have these towers here. And as you likely know, this is where the drone sightings are. And if I were to be the kind of person to wear this sort of hat, I'd say one possibility for this possible magnetic disruption affecting these birds is that they are using these towers to bring one heck of a storm to this area, or trying to attract something else. Side note, since I'm already wearing the hat and I have about 30 seconds left to film, in April of this year, this area experienced a very rare 4.8 magnitude earthquake. They came out in the news saying they discovered a new fault line, which could explain the highest magnitude earthquake recorded in the area for the last several hundred years. Could this have something to do with any of this? Well, we'll find out. That's a video for next time.
Hey everyone. So, this will be the first time that my son will speak on here, I think. But he brought something to my attention and he wanted to share it with you. He plays video games and he plays Fortnite a lot. Well, he wanted to share with you some more truths that they are putting right in front of us, in front of our face, that lines up with Bible prophecy. And so I'll let him take it from here. And this is what he said is happening right now on the video game Fortnite. Go ahead. Here,
all right.
You want to hold it?
Sure, I'll hold it.
Okay.
So
make sure they can see you.
Last season, on Fortnite, there suddenly was this big chest. Nobody knew what it was, but there's this hand over it. It had 6 chains attached to it, 6 chains. But people started breaking it by shooting it and stuff in the game, because it's like a game, you shoot stuff and stuff. But yeah, anyways, while they shot it down, when they shot it down, when the chest opened, it was this big tornado. But it wasn't no ordinary tornado. It was it had souls, demons inside of it. It was red, oranges.
But fire.
Yeah, on fire. But it wasn't really no ordinary chest. It was Pandora's chest. Mm-hmm. But as it said, when we searched up Pandora, it said stuff about pain and souls, hate, and all the hunger and stuff that happened.
The evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what it said, the information that Fortnite gave, it says that something will arise of screaming. But if you get close to the chest, there's screaming and there's yelling for help. You can see hands rising up. Didn't you see that? Mm-hmm. Hands rising up and stuff.
I just watched that and I did see that.
But
on a video that somebody had posted.
Yeah, but anyways, do I explain what I told you right now about the volcano?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell them that too.
So it says, so y'all probably all know the Leviathan, right? Kind of close to dragons and stuff. But it says on Fortnite. So
mind y'all, that's what they a lot of people think that's in the ocean. That big thing that came up on the sensors. I think it was in between Africa and Antarctica, somewhere out there. It's huge. It's bigger than continents. It's come out the water a few times. Caused massive size waves. The shit that's appearing and disappearing. I don't know.
Video games and movies are now leaking stuff. Like, they don't care anymore. They're leaking stuff now. But, like, now I realize Fortnite's doing it too. So, as we know, the Leviathan's going to come back. And, because people are going to be left behind and he's going to come back. But, as,
left behind from where? Like, ain't leaving me here with no Leviathan.
It says, if you go up to somebody and talk to them to give them information, it says that dragons will arise and there will be one big one, also known as the Leviathan. But if you go close to the shore, close to the sea, you can see dragon bones because most of them are extinct, but we don't know that. But anyways, there's this big volcano. What was you talking about the volcano?
Yellowstone is having movement, and that's a super volcano, and that's possibly going to erupt soon, maybe.
And anyways, when it says it's gonna erupt, it says something's gonna come out of it, and stuff. So anyways,
maybe bottomless pit, maybe. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Okay, keep going.
But anyways, if as it says that it will how do I say this? That something will rise out of the volcano. I think that's going to be the Leviathan. Cause now they're exposing stuff.
They're adding dragons.
Adding stuff.
Sound like Pacific Rim, right?
Saying that dragons are coming out of the volcano or something like that. And then a lot of people have prophesied and have visions and dreams about the dragon and saying that the dragon is waking up and that is why that the sea and the waves are roaring and that there is a lot of activity in the sea. And so I mean, it does mention in one of the Lost books that the beast or the dragon is actually at the bottom of the abyss, which is the sea in the deep. So anyways, yeah, so go ahead.
Anyways, as I was saying, they're leaking stuff.
What's up with this anyways? He keeps saying like woo, but
and what I mean by leaking is last year
anyway let a kid anyways me.
Remember the solar eclipse?
What
did they put in the game right before the solar eclipse was gonna happen? Because nobody even knew it was gonna happen. The solar eclipse started to happen. Remember you took a picture of it? I showed it to you and stuff.
Yeah, and then it had a blood moon too at one point. Remember?
Yeah, the blood moon.
It was a blood moon, and that's what's coming up, March 14th, 2025 this year. So.
And I'm not sure if y'all know the portals in Antarctica and stuff.
Oh,
have you told them about that?
I haven't really went into it or anything.
Antarctica, the people are hiding stuff. They're supposedly portals. But if you go on the game on Fortnite right now, there is portals all around the map in which you cannot go in. It's like purplish, but you cannot go in. And people are coming out of it and stuff. But yeah, they're leaking stuff. Like
they're laying it right out in front of us, hidden in plain sight. It's right there that they're because they know the times that we are living in. They know about the Bible prophecy. So Satan is also at work too, using his people and his technology and things like that, because he knows too that his time is short. So
also they added a skin. It's like, it looks really like Satan. Remember I showed you the picture, red and stuff. If you looked last season, he was sitting in a throne, and he would give you stuff, but you had to offer him something. So he would say like, I'll give you this purple shotgun for 90 of your HP, leaving 10 HP because you have 100 in total. So it's pretty much risking stuff. But anyways, like, he would offer you stuff for no reason. You could not kill him. Like, there's a circle thing around him, and you cannot kill him.
Like a barrier where you couldn't, where he was like protected or shielded in, where you couldn't touch him.
Yeah, they're also but what I mean by like leaking stuff, people now, they're like, everybody's been leaking stuff, even movies like Terminator, the robots, artificial intelligence, and now that they're coming back with.
You're right.
Because artificial intelligence is growing more and more and more until it looks more human-like.
They're trying to make it normal.
Yeah, and also, right before, I think, there was cracking, but right before Pandora's box opened, there was cracking around the map in Fortnite. But I also noticed, I'm not sure if you know, but have you seen cracking stuff? Like, there's like been, not like right now, but it was like last year, there's been like stuff like cracks that they haven't been explaining. Like I was saying, they're leaking stuff, and I've been seeing there's codes on the, there's codes like on the screen that you cannot see. Cause I look at that good, I had a good angle, I looked like that, and it had like numbers and stuff now. I mean, I'm just saying, that's what I think they're doing. I think they're leaking stuff. I think the Leviathan's coming out, and video games are going too far now.
Yeah, they have. They've turned evil, and like I said, they lied to us about everything, and they made us believe in a lot of things that wasn't even true and stuff. But now, God is revealing everything that was being hidden from us and that was being kept secret. He is revealing the truth. Everything's coming out to the light, even about what they're trying to do, and everything. So, all right.
Bye. Just want to share that with y'all. Bye.
Like, all of a sudden, it's evil. I think it's just natural. Wherever we're on this planet. If something was to happen, it sounds like Pacific Rim to me. And I have seen what's happening on Fortnite, because I played with my kids like the last week or whatever, and we were on there for a while. And I'm just, stepping inside their world and, seeing what they're ingesting, and I'm there to like guide them through it instead of like keeping them away from everything. Because what I noticed was, with a lot of people, parents that were super strict on them and didn't let them, let them off the chain and go experience life when they were out on their own. Those were some of the most explosive, destructive people, because they didn't have that guidance, because they were shielded so much. So you got to teeter-totter that, that line sometimes. That's just what I believe. I can't tell people how to raise their kids or whatever, but I do the best of my abilities to guide them through life, so they can keep a level head and not be in fear of everything that people are spewing out on the internet. But I don't think that a Leviathan is coming out the ocean, out the water, partly because I don't want that out of all stories that happen. Not that. I'm not trying to get eaten by no goddamn dinosaur or stepping on my house. I'm good. I just had a baby. Like, I'm cool. You feel me? Like, nah, let the UFOs come and let's start us a new relationship. But let's keep going though. You got time for no Leviathan.
All right, y'all gotta put y'all on to something, man.
This is me. This is what I found.
I'm not gonna act like I understand everything about gematria, but look, check this out. I was looking up, the meaning behind Roku, like the gematria behind Roku, because all the weird graphics they show in their screensavers and stuff, right? All right. I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert into understanding all of this stuff right here, but I'm just gonna let y'all know the stuff I found. I don't like it. I ain't gonna hold you. With all the UFOs and all the disasters happening in the background and the beautiful background of Roku that they hide meaning behind, man, this shit say Satan's image. It says Christian Nibiru. All right, let's keep going. It says ancient god Ra, Titans, Archangel, Skull. Watch this. Chip implant, God's Empire, Dishonor.
The phone call kind of messed me up a little bit. I thought it messed up my recording.
Dishonored.
Human God.
Rapist, human God. And a lot of others, man, like angel names and stuff like that. I'm just trying to let y'all know I don't fully understand this stuff. But guess what? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Absolutely not.
But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals.
The future of mind control, and the future being right now because these experiments are being done, is using gene editing tools.
I can create small robotic units at the nanoscale, can directly diffuse into the brain space, but their presence is almost impossible to detect. This amount of nanomaterial could, in fact, affect all of you.
Read from the living brain and write into the living brain.
There's a mysterious direct energy weapon that is being used, and it is causing permanent traumatic brain injury.
We have to get more information, and we got to tell the public what's going on.
The government has to acknowledge that this is happening to civilians.
It's almost that science fact seems stranger than fiction.
We can send instructions and information to an actual person from a distance with this kind of technology to let another person control their actions. But that could be something that could be malicious.
So I take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication?
What?
Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay. So this,
you guys see it?
This pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte.
That's what they do.
And they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but...
Okay, so wait. So it's really true. So what this means is that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips. When I touch my phone, my computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no. We're not shipping that right away. But it sounds like...
This is FDA cleared?
So here's the thing. This is not science fiction. This pill is actually made by a company called Proteus. And they've developed it for medical applications. That pill has been CE stamped and cleared by the FDA. You can take 30 of those per day for the rest of your life.
And then what happens? Does your heart beat change? Does your...
We can just tell that you've taken the pill. A tattoo that could be used for authentication.
Watch, they're gonna have your athletes and everything like promote that, and people gonna start ingesting this shit. Like, I'll be the last one to take it.
Has been coaching me on how to escape the matrix, simulation, whatever you want to call it. So I made this graphic to explain where we're at so far. The core concept is everything is...
Hold on, you guys, I have a special guest.
Energy in a form of geometry. Water on a speaker can illustrate this. Harmonic tones create symmetrical patterns in the same way the molecules of the water and the particles that make up those molecules do. DNA creates the living things that can interact with the simulation. As a fractal antenna, it reads the vibrations of the simulation so that you, your character, can interact and survive in it. It's creating a multiplayer online thing like World of Warcraft, where your consciousness controls the player. Your body would be like the haptic feedback suit in Ready Player One. Suit is your nervous system with the plexus or chakras, whatever you believe, giving you feedback in the form of emotions and feelings. Instead of the goggles, your brain is processing all the geometries. This is according to the ancient info I was told to investigate. I found this in almost every tradition, and in every single one they put their best characters inside of this shape, which is a part of the code of the simulation. This square root of 2 is the binary sequence, it's cell division. Square root of 3 is the division of the cube, that's how we have the 3D world. The square root of 5 is the golden ratio, which gives harmony and proportion to everything in the world. So the player just reads the polarities. It's just like hot, cold, light, dark, soft, hard, all that stuff. You're just processing the polarities, which is interesting because the quantum part talks about the observer effect, saying it plays a direct role in shaping reality. 200 years ago, we figured out that's what snaps the waves into particles. So essentially, you're rendering reality like the game renders the environment, you and all the other players. So you and everybody else in the universe use that and entanglement to create a networked system exactly like how your brain and galaxies work. So why are we here or playing the game in the first place? Well, why do we play games? We'd like to see what it feels like to be a character that we're not. We'd like to have adventures and interact with other players. Knowing the rules allows us to have the best experience in the game. This is actually from my book, which is what I've been trying to document. These graphics are from Geometrics. We're not trying to escape. We're trying to get as many perspectives on how this works to have the best possible experience here and express that. We're all here for different reasons. Maybe the only reason we're playing is to help each other figure it out.
Look, y'all, look, this done turned into a daycare all of a sudden, but nah, we be rocking all day, man. Yeah, man, say hi, man. Yeah, man, so my son is doing very well. Appreciate everybody that was checking up on us. He is out here thriving, man. Look, I think he's gonna be walking in around like 4 or 5 months. He's very, very, very active. Like when I hold him against me, he can stand up on his feet, balance his weight. He loves to try to climb and grab stuff. So yeah, man, he's definitely doing a really, really good job. I think he's gonna be talking in no time. But I'm ready for it. I'm excited and I'm having a good time, man. And I do appreciate y'all supporting me and rocking with me on this channel, man. And someday my son to get to see, you know, like, and really notice, like, damn, my dad really had like he really had like 1 million subscribers and people was rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? I want him to have something to shoot for in his future, whatever he want to do in life. I just want him to be able to see me as that, you know, level that he want to get on and surpass me, so I can pass on the torch to somebody. But it's important that we protect our children and we get out here and not be scared, not be afraid of you know, challenges, not be afraid of technology, not be afraid of UAPs and drones and stuff like that, man. Look, we are who we are. We're here for a reason. We standing on business. I love y'all. I see you on the next video. Hopefully y'all paid attention to this video, because everything in this world is not what it seems. And don't believe everything that you see, and don't believe every emotion that you feel. But look, man, you can take, I was gonna hit y'all with a bar, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. But look, man, but like I always say, man, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. I love you guys. I see y'all in the next video, and I'm out though. Bye.